Slope. Understanding slope is another big portion of algebra. Really what this is asking us to understand or to wrap our head around is whether lines are moving in a positive direction, a negative direction, whether they have no slope at all or whether they have a slope that's flat, or what we call slope that's zero. Its measure is zero. If slope is a new word for you, I highly recommend a simple mnemonic of writing it either in an up or down fashion. My basic knowledge of slope when I learned algebra was a ski slope. I'd never even been skiing when I learned algebra, but I understood what a ski slope was. It was a big hill, a hill that moved either up or down. And so in order to help me remember what slope was, I just wrote the word like this. I wrote it at a slope, right? That's obviously moving at a negative slope, a slope that you can kind of ski down. But there's nothing keeping you from writing it in a positive direction as well. But understanding slope goes beyond simply understanding a positive or negative slope. In algebra, we have to understand its definition in a variety of different ways. What we will see in algebra, and you'll be reminded of consistently by your teachers, is the idea that slope has a ratio, the comparison of rise to run, which is saying its rise is the y measure of the slope, and run is your x measure of the slope. In algebra, slope is reflected in y equals mx plus b by the letter m, and we can find the measure of slope using the slope formula, which is m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The biggest thing to take away is that slope is this letter m, but it's still important for you to have just a little base of knowledge on what the slope formula is. Slope is also called the rate of change. Rate of change, so it allows us to see how things change visually. Maybe you can see how temperature changes across the months. Perhaps you can see the amount of snowfall recorded across the month of December. And one of my favorite examples is you could even see how your grades change over the course of the year. We could see if they move in a positive direction or a negative direction. But slope is reflected by the letter m in algebraic equations, and it shows us rate of change, right? Examples of slope. And we can have positive slope, negative slope, zero slope, or an undefined slope. We can see those examples visually here. A positive slope increases from left to right. As we move left to right, the line goes up. A negative slope, as we move left to right, the line goes down. And zero slope is a horizontal line. It is not increasing or decreasing as we move from left to right. So you can see that that line above is just moving in a straight line left to right. And an undefined line is a completely vertical line. A line does not move to the left or the right. One way to determine if you have an undefined slope is to just picture a little dude up there. He has nowhere to walk, right? If he were to try to go left or right, he would plummet off the top and a little X's on him. He would not survive that fall. So that's one easy way to kind of picture slopes. If we draw that same guy in on these slopes, we can see that he can, walk from left to right, or he can throw on his skis and ski down the mountain, or throw on his hiking boots and walk up the mountain. So there we have examples of positive slope, negative slope, zero slope, and an undefined slope